It's training camp season. Today we're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs and we're getting another look at Brashard Smith. He's killing training camp right now. He's looking solid. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at your rookies, those position battles. Guys, you're drafting here soon in fantasy football. This month, you're drafting your teams. Guys, see what they're doing behind the scenes at training camp. It's all right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. Today we're looking at Brashard Smith. Brashard Smith has been going off, especially these last couple of days. We got those clips, plus most of training camp. 5 minutes, we'll loop this and keep talking ball, but here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Downfield, he's killing it in the passing game. Former wide receiver. He's giving a lot of people Jerick McKinnon vibes. If you remember his tenure with the Chiefs. McKinnon, former quarterback prospect, running back, good in the passing game, good at all phases. These two are vastly different, but got some similarities to how they can fit with this team in this role as a jigsaw piece. And both of them good in the passing game, but you give these guys space, they're going to eat it. What we're seeing here with Smith, though, that he's a former wide receiver. He's solid at breaking off routes. 4-star coming out of high school. Wasn't the top of the class, but he's highly regarded. He went to Miami. And then prior to that, he had a cup of coffee with Florida before committing with Miami. So he was highly recruited. This is a guy that had big schools after him. We go to Miami, we had some moments there. There's this one play that's like an end around or something. It's in the back of my head. But you see him in space with Miami. You just see him eat yards. Just eat yards. Then we go to SMU. We convert the running back. And we hit it hard. We put the stamp on things. We're also looking good in the passing game. Now we get drafted to the Chiefs. This is the perfect fit for what they want. This is the perfect fit. They got a nuanced running back prospect who can run routes. But also, you don't 100% key on him in the passing game because he is also good up the gut. You look at the running back depth chart. Isaiah Pacheco was hurt last year. Kareem Hunt's an older running back prospect. Elijah Mitchell has spent just about as much time on the injury report as he has been playing throughout his career. You're looking at all that. And now you're looking at Brashard Smith as a rookie here that you can also use as a receiver. And if Rashee Rice is suspended, even though you're still got some good depth here, Hollywood Brown missed today's practice with an ankle issue. I wouldn't say injury, but it doesn't seem too bad. Him and Rice both missed. But you got Jalen Royals, you got Xavier Worthy, you got Thornton, you got some players here. But you slide him over at wide receiver, you move him around, you got a jigsaw piece here that's going to help this team. He is going to help this team. He's going to have a role with this team. However, for fantasy football purposes, a lot of you hanging around for that. Late round dart throw. Definitely seeing that in underdog drafts. A lot of people drafting him with one of their last picks. And he is a big time late round dart throw. That working the passing game for PPR, half PPR. One thing you're going to watch if you're going to look for him off the waiver wire this year is the routes ran each week. Is that increasing? Is that getting better? That's what we saw with Jerick McKinnon. He was nowhere really to be found fantasy-wise. But we called the breakout in season. And why we saw that is we were monitoring the routes of the running backs and monitoring it week to week to week. And on the spreadsheet, that name Jerick McKinnon started becoming top 10 in the league of routes ran among running backs. The fantasy production, the yards wasn't there yet, but it's kept coming up. It's kept coming up. And Jerick McKinnon all of a sudden just broke out. Just broke out. That's what you need to watch with Brashard Smith. You need to watch the routes ran, the route participation rate. The rate's going to be lower, but if it's going to happen, it's the routes ran each week, it's going to increase incrementally. Like, if it's going to happen somewhere down the line this season, that is the thing to watch outside of injuries. Outside of, like, all the other running backs bombing out. If it's going to happen, like, every week, you'll see him on the field a little bit more. If you're just watching the games, it's going to be hard to notice. like the games are happening. You know he's out there a little bit more, but it's hard to keep track. But when you get those numbers in, you see that incrementally increasing, and you look from like week 6 to week 13, there's actually a decent gap there of improvement in the numbers of work rate, and you're like, okay, something's happening here. Then you pick him up, you see what's happening, see if he starts getting more opportunity. That's what happened with Jarrett McKinnon. That's why we were able to call that breakout midseason. We call a lot of breakouts that don't happen, but we're looking for under-the-radar flyers, and we're looking at those numbers, and getting more opportunity out there on the field is the main thing. Like, you can't get a target unless you run a route. So the routes are starting to increase, and you're starting to get more snaps. But those routes, those are money opportunities for running backs. And that's an indicator for a player like this. He's a good wide receiver. He's got the chops. He can break off routes. And you got him at running back. You can split him out in the slot. You can move him all over the place. And then he's got the 4.3 speed. And how are you going to cover that? You got Xavier Worthy out there on the field with 4.2 speed. You got Rashee Rice, if he's not suspended during that time, who's a monster at the catch point, breaking off routes, very assertive, very aggressive. Marquise Hollywood-Brown still got speed. The grizzled veteran at wide receiver. You got a lot of opportunities. Then there's Travis Kelce. Zaya Pacheco, maybe you're running 2 running backs at the same time. He's got speed to burn. You got a lot of options here on offense. This is going to be a good weapon for Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs fans, you should be very excited. Because if your running backs start breaking, you still got upside to look at. You still got a running back here that you just spread it out. 4 or 5 wide. You have him in the backfield. You move him out. He'll be your 5th guy. Whatever. And he gives you a lot of options. He gives you a lot of options on like 3rd down, passing downs. Maybe you got Pacheco out there. Maybe it's 3rd and 5. You got him split out in the backfield with those 2. You motion him out in the slot. Next thing you know, those backers got split out a little bit. Those splits split a little bit more. You got a crease open for Pacheco up the guts. Pacheco gets the 1st down. A gritty play. Smashes it up the gut. But something like that, you got to account for Brashard Smith. You got to account for that. He's going to be mixed-matched on linebackers a lot of the times when you're moving him around. How are they going to keep up with him with that speed, the ability to break off routes? You saw him break off that out route earlier in the clips. You saw that happen. He's smooth on the feet. How are you going to handle that? How are you going to guard that? When you got him moving around, say you're rocking 2. They got 2 backs right there. There's Pacheco and there's him. Like I've been talking about. Put him in motion, moving around a bit. Then you got the other wide receivers. You got Rice. You got Xavier Worthy. Hollywood-Brown. You move him around. What if he gets off the rip 10 snaps a game, but he's used as a jigsaw piece? Now, that's not glorious for fantasy football. That might be great for daily fantasy football as a random throw-in. If he's like $3,000 to $4,000 in salary, you get your stacks that way. You throw in your higher-priced players. There's a lot of different fantasy formats where you're looking at Brashard Smith in multiple different ways. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Dynasty was cheaper. He wasn't liquid in rookie drafts. People were onto him. There was just so many good running backs. And we're just chasing the running backs. Look at those hands. Look at those hands, guys. Say you're looking at one of your last picks of your draft, and you want to throw a lottery ticket pick. You don't want a roster clogger. Here's a guy. There's a bunch of them at running back this year. That's the thing about that. There's a bunch of them at running back this year. And if running backs start getting hurt, last year, not as many running backs got hurt. The year prior, same thing. Year prior to that, 2 years ago, that was when the injuries at running back was more normalized, unless we're getting a big change, a big shift due to the usage in the backfield, running back sharing touches. But if we revert back to the moving average of the last 5 to 10 years, when it comes to injury rate at the running back position, you're going to see a lot of these young running backs be thrusted into opportunities. And there's a lot of talent back there in those double-digit rounds, a lot more compared to last season. There's running backs that are going to be sitting on the waiver wire this year that on any given Sunday, all it takes is an injury or 2. And they're going to give you RB1 potential. That's the thing about this. That's how deep it is. The Dolphins got like 3 of them back there. Like, they'll just go down like dominoes, and they'll have another guy up with RB1 potential. Brashard Smith's one of them. His workload in the passing game, football-wise, as a weapon here for the Chiefs, he's going to be a great piece for them. Like I said, 10 snaps a game, moving them around, certain scenarios. He's going to be huge for them. And that's if they do it that much. But there's potential for that. He's getting a lot of work with Mahomes. You're seeing him get work with the ones. A lot of these clips on the back end of this, earlier in training camp, he's killing it. He's killing it, dude. He's killing it. This is a running back you need to pay attention to. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.